So I'm Nate Clinton. I work on SharePoint on the mobile side. This is Dave Cohen. He works on comm sites, among other things. And we're going to walk you through creating a page in a comm site, and then also what that looks like in mobile and some other things you can do in mobile to contribute content to that comm site.
Yeah, so I know we've showed communication sites a couple times this week. How many people have seen a communication sites demo already? Okay, about half. You don't count. He works with us. So I just want to make sure that we're showing you things that you guys will find valuable. So I'm going to start with an already provisioned site. I'm going to add a page to it. I'm going to add some web parts. And then we're going to switch over to Nate, and he's going to show you some of the new features that we've added to mobile to help people create things on the go and interact with their readers. And then we absolutely want to save some time at the end. So you guys can just ask us questions, and because I know that you guys are thinking about how can we use this in our environment, or does it do X or Y? We want to be able to get your questions and answer them, especially as you leave the conference tomorrow. So with that, I'll get started. So this is the site I've already created. And the first thing I want to do, so this is this is our showcase site design. You can see that we have these 3 big pictures on the home page. That's one web part. That's the hero web part. You might have seen that in a different configuration. At the top of the page, a bunch of tiles. We've added a new configuration, new layout to it that's really focused on showcasing beautiful images, a bit of text with it. It's more for a static site design where kind of imagery is the focus. And so that's what I've chosen to go with today. So what I'm going to do is I want to create a page to link my visitors to from right from this web part. So the first thing I'm going to do is go to the new button, create new page. I'm given some page templates to start from, and what this does is it just gives me a page with some pre-configured sections and web parts on it, depending on what template I choose. You could always remove them. You're not locked into anything. For the purpose of this demo, I think I'll start with single column. And so I land immediately on my page. First, I'm going to add a title. I'll call it Where We Trek. And I want to update the image. So the first thing I want to do is go to my site asset library and find the image. In the file picker, I have a bunch of view options. I've set it to tiles so that I can see the images that I'm picking. It's easy to see what I want. And I think I want this guy. He looks like he's trekking. So I pick the image. I'm given a control that lets me move the position of the image around in the title region. And what's really cool about this is that where I'm telling the browser to focus in that targeting reticule is where the page will keep in focus when we have to shrink the image to smaller screen sizes. We'll keep the element that I focused on in the screen so that you can control exactly how that image looks on a mobile device. So the next thing I'm going to do is I have some content pre-written already that I want on my page. I put it in Word. Let me find that, Where We Trek. Okay, so here's my text. I'm just going to copy it. We see a lot of people do this. They author their content in a dedicated word processor like Word, and then they want to just copy it over to a finished SharePoint page. And we want to make sure that when you do that, everything is copied the way that you would expect. And so you can see we maintain the different levels of headings that I have. So we maintain format from Word when you do copy and paste. And I can actually change the formatting of this text by, say, making this bold, just the way that you would expect. So we have a really well-featured rich text editor on the page itself, but we also support great copy-paste. So the next thing I want to do is I'm going to drag an image onto this page. I want kind of an image to go in between Iceland and the Italian Alps, right? Because I'm organizing how things fit in my page. So all I'm going to do is say, okay, this looks like the Italian Alps. I'm going to drag this right to the position I want this image to be on the page. So what happened? We broke the rich text editing part in half, right? Because I told it where I wanted that page to get that image to get inserted. We automatically put an image web part on the page with that image, and then we moved the rest of that text down into its own rich text editing part. So we're really focused on making this experience as WYSIWYG, you know, what you see is what you get, as possible. We want this to be approachable for people who aren't experts in SharePoint. All right, so I'm going to add one more image that looks like Iceland. I've never been, so I just assume it looks like Iceland.
It's ice.
It's icy.
Close.
Okay, so we are short on time in this session. I want to make sure we get to the mobile stuff. So I'm just going to publish this and go back to the home page. We do pop a pane once you hit publish because we want to walk users through getting the most out of their pages. And so this pane actually helps me either add my page to navigation, mark it as news so it can go into our news distribution system, or I can send an email of this page to someone. I'm not doing any of that right now. I'm just going to go back to the home page and link it. So I put the page into edit mode on my home page, and I go down to the tile that I want to edit. So I click change because I'm linking it directly to a page. And you can see that the page where we trek is now showing up in recent. So that's the page I just created. I open it. I've already got my text in here because, you know, this was a pre-configured site. I did some work on it. If you saw it in the studios about an hour ago, that's when I created this site. And you can see that we automatically selected the image from that page to pull into that part. So we're trying to do some smart things to help you author your pages easily. All right, that looks good. I'm going to publish this page. Excellent. Okay. Now the last thing I want to do is I want to add a news web part to my page because actually, is anyone here using SharePoint News? No? Do you guys know what SharePoint News is? No? All right. I'll do a super fast overview. So SharePoint News is a feature we added. It's comprised of both a web part and a news distribution system. So when you create a new SharePoint page through this news web part, the one that I added, let me just publish this page and go down and show you news. When I click add news, same page authoring experience that I just showed you. It's very familiar, except that we know that that's supposed to be a news post. And so when you publish that, right, what we do is we tell the system, okay, you've now published this, go distribute it to the users that care about it. So on a mobile device, on the SharePoint home, we'll go and bring the news post from all the sites that you work in and show it to you in these aggregate experiences. And Nate will show you some of that. So I'm actually not going to create a news post today. I just wanted to set some context about what SharePoint News is. So let me go back to the home page. And I've already shared the site with Nate, and he's a contributor. So we're going to switch over to him, and he's going to show you how you can both contribute content to the site and interact with the site owners right from your mobile device.
Okay, great. So let me show you the app here. Can you guys see it? You want to see the awesome. How many are using the iPhone or the Android SharePoint apps today? Okay, pretty good. So this is a big focus of ours. We're trying to continually improve and reach out to customers. So try out the latest apps for sure if you haven't yet, and then let us know because we're always interested in hearing feedback on this. So I'm going to show you a few things today, starting with how we take advantage of all the work that Dave has done in ComSites and show a rich ComSite or just modern page experience in general within the mobile apps. So let me go to the site he just created. That's Contoso Excursions. You can see how all the stuff renders beautifully. Still have some news things coming in here. I don't think we have the news web part quite there yet, but we'll get there.
Hey, Nate, can you check out the page I just created?
Yeah. So let me go look a couple. Let me look at the Come Away With Us one first. So this is your program overview that you created earlier, right?
Yep.
So let me check this one out. You can see that what we've done is we've taken the canvas of the ComSite, shown it in its responsive goodness. So all the stuff here renders beautifully on mobile. We built a native experience around it, so we have things like the menu experience, we have at the bottom comments and sharing, we'll have likes eventually. So we're taking the speed and power of native and putting it into the responsive experience as well. So this is a cool page. I want to read it, but there's lots of content here.
Yeah, it is.
So let me save for later. The button up at the top, the little bookmark, I can save this for later and come back to it in a bit, and I'll show you that. Let me go to the page he just created. Okay, so this is the where we track, and the first thing you'll notice is that the image, he went and he positioned the little circle on top of the backpack, and that's what we're showing here. So let me go into that. And this is the page, so it's now rendered same way, the responsive experience with the native Chrome around it. You can see all the beautiful pictures showing up. They animate in beautifully, they're performant. And again, we have the comments and the sharing at the bottom. So that's the com site stuff. It looks great, it's easy to create. No work needed to make it responsive, it just happens out of the box. So let me go and create a news article because this is about how I contribute to the com site. So let me go into news here. And you can see what we've done is we take the native experience for news, which we have in the app already, and we're able to link to it from the responsive experience in com sites. So you get the best of both worlds. So I'm going to hit plus at the top to create a new news article. And in this case, we are Contoso excursions, so we're trying to talk about these great treks. So let me see, I'm going to say, check out this great Orlando
wildlife.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah. Great wildlife trek. Oops. It's a good thing I can edit it because I'm making lots of errors. I say done, so that's my title. Oh boy. I also have the benefit of autocomplete. And then I'm going to add a little bit of text. Great time today. And then I'm also going to add a picture. I'll take a photo. I'll take it very broad here. And I can say use that photo. You can also get it from my library. Should render super fast. It might be taking a little bit more time, so we'll give it a second here. Okay, there it is. Now you'll notice like this is a super small news post I created, but I could be doing this here at the show, sending back updates, sending back status, talking about how great this trek was, or that trek was, or this conference. It allows me to add as little or as much as I want here, and documents and images, and then share that with the rest of my team. So I'm going to go ahead and publish this. I should publish here in just a second. Okay, great, and there it is. It's showing up. So I've done that, I created some content, I've added it to his com site. Now I want to get back to the page I saved for later earlier. So I'm going to go back to the main experience here and click on the Me tab. The Me tab is a new page that we created that has a couple things. One, it has your recent content. So all the content across your tenant that you've looked at over the past few days. You can see I have a couple program overviews there because I've done this a few times. And then also the saved content. So all your saved content, which is not just news, it's also files and modern pages and pages across your experience within the app. Those all land here. So I'm going to click on saved. I see the program overview I just saved a little bit ago is showing up. And a whole bunch of other content here. I have news, I have pages, I have a Word document. And this is the way I can get back to whatever I want to get back to fast, wherever I am on the go. So I'm going to open this one from Dave, but working as Andy today. And I'm working as Mark, but I'm Nate. I'm going to add a comment here. So let me see this. I go into our comments experience. This is a native comments experience, so it's fast and rich. I say this is great page, Dave, Andy, so there's no confusion there. So I just posted that. And now you can see how the full circle. So he can publish the experience, I can publish news, I can save the news for later to read it on the go. I can also go and add to it additionally with comments. I can share it. Pretty soon I'll be able to like it. So all this rich stuff that you can take with you wherever you want to go. Let me hand out back to you.
Yes, and so what I wanted to show you, I'm going to disconnect you.
Okay.
Is, all right, can you guys see that screen?
You have to
is there? So that's the push notification I got via the SharePoint app that Nate had published a new news post. And because this is a site that I care about, it's a site that I author on, or it's a site that I read a lot, I got a push notification. I can just swipe in. And boom, it takes me right to that news post. So in a short time, now let's switch back to my desktop. Which article did you comment on again? The overview?
Yep.
Okay. So let me go down. So you can see, we created a site pretty easily. We added some content to it quickly. We switched over to the mobile phone, and Nate was able to find content that he thought was interesting, bookmark it, save it for later so he could read it on the go. He created a news post, which is creating a SharePoint page with rich parts on it, right? He added a text part, he added images. We're adding more capabilities to that all the time. He published it. The graph was intelligent enough to say, okay, I know who cares about this site. I'm going to go and let them know that someone just published a news post on that site and tell them about that news post. And it doesn't just come to the mobile phone. It comes to SharePoint Home. So we have an aggregated news feed in the SharePoint Home. And this will roll up there too. And so he can also interact with me, the site owner or the page author, through the comments on the site wherever he is. So that was effectively our demo about how you can create a site, create content, and you can do it from your desktop, from your phone. You can interact with your readers in new ways. And yeah, and now I know, this is a short session, so I really want to have time to take your questions. I think we'll cut it here.
You can get the iOS phone is available today. 3.3 is the version, and it has all this functionality in it. The Android phone 2.0 is the latest version. It has on-prem support as well. It now has authoring for news, all the stuff I showed you, and it also will have editing for news here in a week or so. So check it out. Let us know what you think. We'd love to hear it.
Yeah. Whoa, sorry. This is why I need a mouse for demos. So there you can see it in the news web part. And then if I click into it, you see the title, the big image of you guys, and somebody's been adding comments to it in the background.
That's the real Andy.
Yeah.
Not the fake Andy.
So I'm still a little confused. I'm assuming this is all available on the team site as well.
It is.
Yeah, it's because what I'm understanding from the communication site, it's not as much oriented toward teams theoretically, but we kind of have this one sort of oriented toward a team. Is that?
No, not necessarily.
Hey Dave, do you want to repeat the question so that?
Oh yeah, sorry. The question was, the scenario here is kind of around a team working together. Why isn't this a team site, and does all this work on a team site as well? The scenario just we kind of went quickly. We're creating a resource for the rest of our company, right? We are publishing things to it, and yeah, we are kind of doing work. But the point of this site is that Nate and I are the contributors to it. And we want to make sure that almost everyone in our company can go and read the content, right? And that's very different than the permissioning model that you would have on a team site. So. If you don't have the SharePoint mobile app, so right now we don't support authoring in the full narrow responsive view. So you do need the SharePoint app for that right now. The question was, can I create a communication site as a sub-site? We've heard that question a lot. No, you can't. Have you heard our hub announcements this week? So in the past, if you wanted to build a divisional portal or something like that, you would create nested sites and sub-sites, right? And they would inherit nav from the parent site. Our model for that going forward will be you create a hub and you associate sites to that hub, and they're all individual site collections, and that's how you would achieve that. You technically can today create a sub-site. We haven't turned it off, but we're not going to add the capability to create a communication site as a sub-site because our model is to use the hub for that instead. Sure. So I will show you.
The question was, where do you create a communication site from? So where's the starting point?
So here on the SharePoint home, and I mentioned that that news post rolls up in an aggregate across all the sites that I work in, so you can see it here. There's a create site button. So to have that button, you need to have self-service site creation turned on in your tenant. That's in tenant admin settings. With the new tenant admin experience that's coming out, you'll also be able to create a communication site there. And just last week, we documented the ability to create a communication site via REST endpoint. So you can create one via PowerShell, you can write an app to go create one, and we'll be adding some capabilities to that endpoint as well. Okay? There is not scheduling available. So we are planning on working on content approval and scheduling. We know it's a big requirement for communication-oriented sites, especially company portals. We are working on a way to integrate Microsoft Flow and utilize Flow to work on that scheduling. So we know it's a requirement, we're working on it, it's just we can't commit to a timeline yet. Yeah, so so on our page authoring, there's a command bar at the top, and that command bar has a button save and close. When you save and close, it creates a draft. It saves a minor version, and it's not published yet. On mobile, it's slightly different. If you abandon an editing session, we will save that draft, but only one draft right now. Yeah. Any other questions? No? Okay. Please rate the session. Thank you. I know this was short. We tried to cram as much in as we could. And I know you guys have seen some of this before, so hopefully it was new and interesting.